my name is ЩУНДREA, and nice to meet you at my podcast, Justice Where To. I'm very glad that this is my first English podcast, so it's a premiere. And I think that's important that in a world of perpetual changes, justice will change too. That is why I decided to start this personal project to see and talk to people of vocation all over the world, to see where to are we going as a community from the point of view of justice. Hello, nice to meet you, Andy Rajapakse, and welcome to Romania. Our spectators will want to know who are you as a Rotary International President Special Representative. Can you tell me a few things about you, about your career? How did you get to work for Rotary?
Thank you. So I don't work for Rotary, but I'm a volunteer of Rotary International, and we are volunteers. And what I do is I work full time. So I'm an international marketeer, and I work for the American University, based out of Asia Pacific. And what I do is I take students, high school students, to study at the Harvard Law School and Harvard Business School in the US. And I lead a team of 12 of us in Asia Pacific countries between India and China. And I'm based in Australia. I live in Australia, and I'm an Australian citizen.
Oh, wow. So a lot of people know about Rotary, and they know that Rotary International and also Rotary in our districts, in our countries, it's a worldwide organization that works towards the development of our communities and also to achieve social justice. And since the main theme of my podcast is about justice, I would like to know what is your opinion as very dedicated worker in the Rotary community about the role of Rotary in the social justice.
So Rotary has always played a key role in promoting social justice. From the very beginning, when Rotary started, was to connect with people, bringing people together. And I always say that we were the first LinkedIn in the world because we connected people.
Wow.
Real people. And from the very beginning of 1905, Rotary connected people, and those people took up causes that was needed to be handled in the community. And the first project that Rotary did in Chicago after forming the first club was to build a public toilet.
Oh, really? I did not know.
Yes,
That's
in
amazing.
Chicago, because at that time, the traders said their business was going down because the ladies and men, to use a toilet, you had to eat in a restaurant, pay money.
Oh, wow.
And they did not have a restroom, like a toilet. So then Rotary Club of Chicago, the first club, in 1907, 2 years after they formed the first club, they built a public toilet in Chicago for women because they knew the ladies would spend more time in the town if they had a public toilet, and they would be shopping and spending money.
So this was pure marketing at its beginnings, isn't it?
It was taking a course, nobody had given them a toilet, and Rotary said, okay, we build. And still the toilet structure is still there in Chicago. And the next year they built for men. And it helped actually for the economy to change.
Amazing. As we all Rotarian know, but a lot of people watching us probably do not, there are some principles that help Rotary develop and which are typical for Rotarian beliefs. What can you tell me about those principles?
Yes, so actually, in Rotary, Rotary was founded on 5 values, and those values have been there for the last 100 plus years. So first value was friendship. And that's why we meet often, so we improve our friendship with people. Second value is integrity, so that Good friends, when they keep meeting, it's more than trust. It's can I depend on you? Can I take your word? It's not a contract. So good friendship builds integrity. And because of our good friendship and integrity, we have diversity because you bring your other good friends with other skills. Diversity we're talking about is more the professional skills and vocations. What would you bring? So we have good friends with integrity, with a diverse pool of skills, which helps us to tackle social justice issues in the community or any project in the community. And by fourth value is service. And because of all the service we do, it helps us to improve our leadership. So the fifth value is leadership. So just to go back, first value is friendship, second is integrity, third is diversity, fourth is service, fifth is leadership. So these are 5 values on which Rotary's foundations are built.
Yes, and they are extremely important. I remember that when I started my activity with Rotary here in Romania, it was at the beginning, I learned a lot. I got and studied about Rotary principles and the way it works, and I realized what a club of service means, because a club of service reunites the intention of the participants to get networking with the intention to create together projects towards the community, in the benefit of community. And this is amazing because those times, so 100 and something years ago, people generally united in networks just for business. This part of donating and implicating in the world was at the beginning. And from this point of view, as a representative of the president of Rotary International, you have seen a lot of projects all around the world. You have maybe participated in a lot. And I would like you to tell me, for the people who are watching, maybe 1 or 2 very successful projects you are part of.
Okay, I'll start by Romania. When we started Rotary, I was told in 1929, the first clubs, when they formed in Bucharest and Timișoara and elsewhere. In 1931, the Rotary clubs of Romania came to a conference. And at that conference in 1931, they set up a committee to tackle and fight corruption.
Oh, really? I did not know.
Yes. And thereafter, in 1932, they went on to build dispensaries, schools for the children who would not otherwise have access to it. And they even formed another committee to support children with disabilities, handicapped children. This all in the 1930s. After the Second World War, if you remember in the 1940s, Rotary initiated the formation of the United Nations. The 1946 San Francisco Conference, where 50 leaders from 50 countries came, were initiated by Rotary to bring them together, because at that time, Rotary was the only organization that was spread across the world, and they had influence.
Oh.
So coming from that, looking at another amazing part recently that you asked me if I have been involved with, is yes, I have been involved with a action group. In Rotary, we have action groups on different causes, and this action group is called Rotary Action Group for Reproductive, Maternal and Child Health. Mm-hmm. It's all about mothers and children. And I'm a director on the board of this action group. We have about 13,000 members from 83 countries.
Wow. And
one of the projects we did 2 years ago was we applied for a Rotary Foundation, gives one grant of $2 million, one grant every year. So 2 years ago, we applied for this grant to prevent mothers and children dying in Nigeria. So Nigeria has the world's highest percentage of mothers dying at childbirth. 26% of the mothers die today of childbirth. So this project was another social justice project, because we could not allow that to happen. 26% of women dying at childbirth in Nigeria. So the project was, with the $2 million, a 3-year project with support from the Austrian government, the German Rotary clubs and the Nigerian clubs, It's a 3-year program to educate and equip local small dispensaries and, midwives, so that the women will know to protect themselves and, have babies a little later in life, not too young. So it's an ongoing empowerment process.
And what was until now, if you know, the outcoming of this project?
This project is only 1 year. We started it last January. And over the last 1 year, what I can say is we have reached out into 4 cities in Nigeria. And the awareness campaign and the mothers and babies being checked regularly is happening because the project is helping to finance the cost of midwives. In those countries, people have to work. But if they go to do work to take care of the mothers, they lose the income. So this project money helps them to go out into the rural villages because there's a small allowance given, plus getting new equipment, testing equipment, keeping a record of the mothers who are pregnant, bringing them regularly in for checkups. So it's a 3-year project, but we are very happy with the results of the first year.
Amazing. So what you are telling me that besides the financial help, which is important, an important role for Rotary is educating people in order to understand what are their rights, what are their possibilities. And this is one of the most successful things that Rotary did all over the world. You travel a lot and you've seen many things.
Yes.
What can you tell me about this important part of being Rotarian? I mean the vocational part of Rotary.
So what I told you earlier is that Rotary brings people of different vocational skills together so that we use our vocation, our skills to support the community. We can run our businesses, work in companies, you can get a salary, and you can die the richest man in the graveyard and you can't do any business there. So what Rotary gives us a platform to use our skills to better the lives of the people that are living in our community. Because if you look every organization, your community is a stakeholder of your business. So we need to take care of our community, not only to make money from them, but to make sure that there are social justice happening, that they have access to education, access to clean water, they can prevent diseases happening. Because one of the biggest projects that Rotary has undertaken in 1979, and for the last so many years we have been leading this campaign to eradicate polio virus from the face of this earth. And that is by immunizing millions and millions of children. And this year, we reached a huge milestone of having contributed $1 billion
Amazing.
to UNICEF.
Absolutely amazing.
To get these vaccines and distribute it around the world. And we as volunteers, we also go and support to transport these vaccines because it has to be in a cold chain. But we had continued this, and it was Australian Rotary International President, Sir Clem Renault, from my own state where I live in Queensland, who started this project in 1979 by immunizing 60,000 children in the Philippines. And we have led this campaign, and we are this close to eradicating polio from the world because there are only 2 countries that has this wild polio virus, and that is Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Oh, wow. Andy, you are a Rotarian for many years now.
Yes.
How exactly did you get to become a Rotarian? When did you know that you have a vocation to volunteer in order to help bringing social justice to our whole planet or whole community, human community?
I was invited to join Rotary in Sri Lanka, where I was born. That was a good 25 years ago. But I have always been associated with a leadership club in my school called Interact Club, which was sponsored by Rotary. And then in the community, a Rotaract Club, which is for young adults. And then when a new Rotary Club was being formed, I was invited to join them. And most of us were young people working in middle management. And it was a new model club. It was a lunchtime club. And that brought me in. A very good friend of mine said, would you like to come and check this out? And of course, after that, you get on the train and the train leaves the station. So, but it helped me connect with a lot of people around the world because I was always in international marketing. And as marketeers, when we go out, I don't have to stay in a bar looking for friends. Before I go to the country, I may have friends. Now, even before I came to Romania, this is my first visit. But before I came to Romania, I have been in touch with Ovidiu, the district governor, with Laura, the district secretary, and with Andre and Yulia. So, we have made in touch. We have been on Zoom. So when I came here, it was like home.
You already had friends here.
Yes. And I have more friends now in Romania.
Of course. Since you are doing this for such a long time and I see that you definitely enjoy it, can you tell me how was on a personal level your experience of being in Rotary? What changed in your way of perceiving life, on your experience of life, on the satisfaction level?
Good question. Rotary makes the world a small place because we are connected. Just about 3 weeks ago, every year we have a convention where about 15,000 Rotarians come from around the world. It's a great meeting place. And 3 weeks ago, it was in Singapore. That's when you meet. So, when you go there, you have people from so many countries you have met before. So Rotary makes the world a smaller place. It makes the global village a reality because you really know the people. We meet them often, sometimes. Now, I met Ovidiu, the district governor of Romania, in Singapore first, before I came.
Oh, wow.
So, can you see how the human connections work? Now, if I was not in Rotary, I would have never met you. I would have never met most of the people. So
we wouldn't have been to this podcast.
Yes, we would not have been here. So, yes. Rotary opens opportunities for people to connect with people with purpose. All of us have a purpose. We want to do good in the world. And that's what Rotarians do, doing good in the world. And when you connect people who do good in the world, it's a huge chemistry that makes a very strong relationship.
Yes, because I think, and of course I'm not the only one, for me Rotary is a very, very big family because we have the main purposes in life. We connect very easily. We share the same principles, the same values, the same vocation. And I have to confess that when I heard that you came from Australia directly to Timișoara, for me it was, oh my God, he came such a long time to our conference here in Timișoara. And that is why it was such a pleasure to meet you. And I wanted to ask you, how was your experience being here in Timișoara?
Fantastic. Beautiful. Once again, I told you, it's like as if I have been here many times. I met the people, very friendly. I've been in many countries in Europe, but first time in Romania, yes, it's fully worth the 37 hours of flying from Australia right across the world. Then you know how down under Australia is because it takes that much. But good things in life needs effort. So it was good that we had the energy to come all this way. But yes, the people are... every Romanian friend I met, wonderful. And once again, we had the platform to be friends because we are all in Rotary. But I met people who are not outside Rotary, not in Rotary too. So you got a fantastic culture because, Romania has a very long history of civilization, going back to the Roman Empire's time. So, some of the buildings when I see, I'm amazed at the engineering skill. I went to the Water Museum.
Oh, really?
In 1918, they had built those pumps to pump water, underground water for drinking purposes in 1918. And those pumps have been there till 1990s. So, amazing engineering marvels. And that comes normally with civilization. Like where I was born, Sri Lanka, we also have a history of 2,500 years.
Oh, tell me.
So I understand old civilization, countries with old civilization, their traditions, and they are more open and very patriotic people.
That's nice. I've been once in Sri Lanka, and I must confess it was a very pleasant experience for me. And that's how Rotary connects people. And since we talked about social justice, I would like to ask you about, maybe you can tell me about some of the projects that impressed you the most, where you have been part as a Rotarian, maybe in Australia, maybe in Sri Lanka.
What I heard at the conference over the last weekend in Romania was amazing, the kind of work the clubs are doing. You got a large amount of clubs, about 152 Rotary clubs,
Yes.
and about 65 Rotaract clubs, and I think you have about 100 Interact clubs in schools, and the kind of work they're doing. One project was a Rotary club doing a drug abuse prevention project, which is relevant today around the world, where young people get addicted to drugs, different kinds. But that was a high impact project. And then training young people in Rotary Youth Leadership Award camps. So these are camps we bring young people. I think last year you had trained about 250 of those young people across, to understand, explore themselves and become leaders, because our world, we are in a crisis without leadership. We need good leaders. So those were amazing projects that I saw. And I also saw from the schools, they shared with us at the conference, the Interact clubs, the students in high schools, the amount of work they have been doing in their communities, raising money and supporting local charities that are involved in social justice. So I think they have done about $1 million
Lei. Yes.
worth of projects in this last year. So they're really amazing. And that's what Rotary is all about, connecting the people to connect with the community. That's our purpose.
Yes, it's amazing, because finally, when we talk about social justice, we understand that justice needs no more just, let's say, a court of justice to be resolved. It needs every one of us to be part of doing something better and helping our community to be more prosperous. And this education part of the Rotary philosophy, I think it's so important, because we understand that justice is not just an institution, it's a philosophy of life. Tell me, please, which is your next project that you would like to accomplish in your activity as in Rotary International?
So, so in Rotary, how we manage our organization is, we have 1.4 million members in about 200 countries, and they are all in clubs. So we have 36,000 Rotary clubs in the world.
Oh my
so
God.
we become members of a Rotary club, and the clubs become members of Rotary International, our full organization. So clubs are the heart and soul of Rotary. That's where people join. That's where they do programs for the community. And and to make it easy, we have divided the world into 34 zones. So where these clubs form into groups in 34 zones. And I'm from one zone, Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands of 14 islands. We are zone 8. Now you're zone 21. So we are given zones, 1 to 34. So in my part of the world, or just to tell all over, in each of those zones, we have a management team. So the clubs get together in Romania and Republic of Moldova. All the clubs form into one district. So in a zone, you can have about 15 to 20 districts. In my zone 8, we have 19 districts, Rotary districts. So each district may have about 100 to 75 to 100 clubs. Your district has 152 clubs. So these clubs elect a leader called a district governor. And this district governor is only for 1 year, from 1st of July to 30th of June. 1 year, and for your life, we can only be a district governor once. You can only be the world president once in your life.
That is called Rotary, because it's moving like a wheel, and you can be in the leadership only once. Why is this principle established?
Okay. So this is the way that we are volunteers. So you are given a key role just for 1 year. Give your skill and time for 1 year to lead. And then also plan the succession, who will come after you. Because we need more and more people to come into leadership roles, come with new ideas. Sometimes you can be very passionate volunteer, but if you are in the seat for too long, you become very possessive, not passionate. You become possessive, and
History has a lot of...
it can lead to conflict.
Yes.
So Rotary says no. So I was a district governor during the COVID year of 2020, 2021.
Oh,
and very challenging time.
Very challenging.
But it was one of the most successful times for my Rotary area or my district. And I had a very good team. So all good results come out of good teams. And if you have 1 or 2 leaders, it helps. But in that year, I was able to grow my Rotary district to attract 430 new members, and we grew to be the 25th largest growth district in the world out of the 525 districts. But what was more important is I took up a course during that year, and a course was relevant to Australia and New Zealand. The course was where we said Rotary says no to domestic violence, and which is a challenging situation out there for us. So all clubs participated by doing marches and seminars, workshops outside the club. Rotary say no to domestic violence, and that helped us to connect with a cause that the community had a connection to, and therefore we had more people wanting to join us. 430 people joining in 1 year is more than one a day. But what's amazing is 57% of those people were women, ladies.
Of course.
And 30% of them were under the age of 30 because they connected with the cause. Okay, somebody I know has gone through this situation. So the project that I'm looking at now, this last Rotary year, we took it right across Australia. And I like to lead this campaign right across my Oceania region as a cause that the Rotary clubs can connect with the community. Today, there are in some areas, the community organizations are raising money for Rotary to promote. This is an advocacy cause. You can't find a solution, but with the cause of no to domestic, Rotary say no to domestic violence, we are creating a dialogue.
And also educating people.
Yes.
And since we talk a lot about leadership, there's a saying that I love a lot that's like this: real leaders create other leaders, not followers. Andy, why is it important to have leaders in our life, in our planet?
I'll share with you. We have 2 kinds of people. Some are managers, some are leaders. So managers, most of the people are managers because they do things right. They do it according to the book. This is the process, or we have to do like this. So managers will manage matters and, do it right. Leaders do the right thing.
I see.
So there's a big difference because leaders will take the risk to do the right thing. Do I lead my company to where I have to take it? Do I lead my country to be one of the most livable countries? So leaders have a key role because leaders got a vision and they will take the people or the organization to where they think we should go.
And they also, having such a vision, they inspire them.
Yes.
They help them see the same perspective of life that they also see. What can I say? It's amazing to see that Rotary is connecting people all over the world. And I thank you very much for joining me on this podcast. I wish you good luck in all your future projects. And of course, we, all the Rotary community of Timișoara, wait you to come again and visit us in this beautiful city of Timișoara.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. It was my pleasure to be in Timișoara.
Thank you.